In October, St. Luke sent a team of people to Kisumu, Kenya, to explore a new missional connection. Several communities around Kisumu have strong connections with world neighbors, and we could see the difference their partnership made. The people we met were resilient, having survived terrible hardships. Most had no transportation and walked everywhere. They worked diligently on patches of farmland to sustain crops and livestock. They were people of deep faith. Everywhere we gathered, they began with prayers that were full of thanksgiving and joy for God. Most everyone we encountered lived in abject poverty. Their homes didn't have electricity or running water. But despite not having these things, their concern was for the greater community. Their three main concerns are food, healthcare, and education. We met Rispa, whose husband had died from AIDS, and gave her the disease as well. She was a strong woman who had been left with 5 children as a widow, with no means of support. But she worked hard to do what she could. When doctors gave her only 3 months to live, the local community group, started by World Neighbors, helped provide the medicine she needed, which saved her life. Since then, she has sent all of her children to college by farming her rocky land, and she is grateful to God. Now we want to be part of helping people like Rispa. We also want to help this community build and sustain their own health clinics. No one should have to walk 10 miles to get medical treatment. AIDS is no longer a fatal diagnosis if people can get access to medicine. Malaria is still deadly, especially to children and the elderly, but if we can get them health care, lives can be saved. And we want to help make education available to every child. Clean water, food, access to health care, and education are the most basic of human rights. We believe that God is calling us to love and to care for people here and around the world. Amen. They asked Jesus, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you needing clothes and clothe you, or sick and go and visit you?" And Jesus replied, "Whatever you did for one of these brothers or sisters of mine, you did for me."